Hello. So, what we've been through has been a collective trauma. Uh, Not just the disease itself, but the social and the economic chaos that has come along with it. And in some ways, at least for some people, that has been even more traumatic than the disease itself. The bickering, the confusion, the politicization of it all, it's been very difficult. As well as the disease itself, especially speaking of somebody who has asthma. There's been a lot of trauma in a lot of different ways. So my hope is that this video helps you to cope with the challenges of this era and to continue to process it even after we exit it, because thankfully it seems like we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. So I hope that this helps. Number one, don't give in to pessimistic thinking. This is just a phase. This last year has just been a phase. The last couple years, 2020 included, but 2019 and the first half of 2018 or so has been challenging in its own right for you as a Capricorn, because Saturn was in Capricorn. And I saw it with some of my really close friends who are Capricorns, where there's just this pressure. Saturn in Cap was conjunct the sun, conjunct any other personal planets. Usually a Capricorn will have Mercury or Venus in Capricorn as well. Maybe if you have rising or moon, but even without that stuff, even if you just have sun in Capricorn, the last couple of years, 2020, 2019, I think in particular, but the last part of 2018 as well, they've been heavy. They've also been incredibly formative. I think that better than anybody, how formative Saturn's pressure can be. You're born as a Capricorn, Saturn rules Capricorn. And so from a very young age, you felt that seriousness of Saturn, that focus of Saturn, that diligence. Okay, I need to be focused in my efforts. I want to make sure my goals are helping me to achieve the best that I possibly can be. I have people looking to me to be recognized per my professional abilities, to be recognized for my endeavors. I have a drive to succeed. There's this wonderful thing of being a Capricorn that is all of that. But still, when Saturn's involved, it is heavy. It is difficult. So I really hope that you don't give in to that pessimistic thinking of this last year and a half. It's really important to really decondition our minds. We've been through so much. And to be able to understand that's just a phase. This isn't life from now on, like every transit or like any experience that we experience, even one like this on such a massive collective level, it's just a phase. It's just one step in the long journey, the infinite journey of steps to take in life. And it's important to not get caught in the thinking of that time, and to I think especially from the last couple of years, to not give in to the darkness of self-pity or feeling like there's just gridlock or dead ends or anything like that. Especially for where we are right now, and really during any time period, there's always opportunity, there's always possibility, there's always positivity. And any negativity that we experience, we can shift that. We can sublimate that into positivity. If not completely, of course, certain things are just difficult and they suck and it is what it is. But we can always find the silver lining and grow upon that, so that silver lining becomes actually a huge part of that negativity that first was so daunting in the first place. So I invite you to really reflect on the last couple of years and to ask yourself, okay, how have I grown and how can I continue to grow? And that's actually part of number 2, destabilization. This has been a massive destabilization. Actually, hold on. Before we get into that, again, keep developing on how you've been developing the past couple of years. You've been through the ringer already. 2020 was the ringer of all ringers, having Saturn in Capricorn as well as Jupiter in Capricorn. There's a lot of goodness that came with that as well, but Jupiter in Capricorn is a challenging energy in certain ways, so that added in certain ways to the pressure and also to this potential to be very pessimistic and thinking of, oh my God, it's always going to be like this. So breathe, relax, look at where we are now, feel where your life is right now and what you're experiencing now. You know how you're through that tunnel of what you're experiencing then. Jupiter and Saturn are both in Aquarius. You won't experience Saturn in Capricorn for another 30 years. That's really beautiful for it being lighter, not as heavy. But it's great to also look forward with these energies. In particular, Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius give us that opportunity to look forward and be excited for the future and go, okay, cool. I've had my foundation. I've built that, especially for you as a Capricorn. You've had a hell of a foundation building the last couple of years. Now, how can I go further with that foundation? How can I launch rockets to achieve greater goals than ever? It's really important to stretch. How do I put this? To stretch your imagination, to stretch your ideas for the future, and to not just hunker down like we have been the last couple years, and especially this last year. It's really important to invite yourself to dream larger and to know that the opportunity is there for you to be able to actually achieve those larger dreams. I mean, it's always there in a sense, but especially with where we are right now with 2021 and over the next couple of years as Saturn goes through Aquarius, there's real potential here. So again, don't get caught in that negativity. So number 2, focus on what you can effectively guide. As we were talking about before, this has been a massive destabilization. So many things that we took for granted of, oh yeah, oh health, whatever. And oh, this in my life or that, oh freedom, opportunity, so much was restricted. And I think personally, and I think obviously most people in society think for our own good, there was a lot of rules to follow to make sure that as few people as possible would succumb to the disease, and so that there wouldn't be even more destabilization and or loss of life. So still though, that was a big challenge. That was a big challenge to have all of our worlds, but I think especially for the earth signs, and especially as a Capricorn, with all that pressure included with that Saturn in Cap and the Jupiter in Cap in its own way, it's difficult to have your world rocked like that. But it's also a great opportunity to grow wisdom and to become more mature and understanding, and to have the insights and to understand that we really can't control so much of our life. We can always guide effectively, and ultimately we can guide so effectively that it basically becomes control in a sense. If we devote time and effort and focused intention on something, we change, even just a little bit. We go from something becoming impossible to becoming improbable but possible, and then we keep devoting time and effort and it becomes possible, or rather probable. Same thing. It's not the exact same thing, but you get what I'm saying. And then inevitably it becomes inevitable when we devote that much time and energy to it. Of course, there's always an element of uncertainty, but it's not rocket science. If we devote time and energy to something, there's going to be results, and the more time and energy we devote, the more results there's going to be. So I think that that's a really great lesson for you to take forward really throughout your entire life is, okay, I'm not going to try and control anything because I can't control it. I can't control what goes on even with the lives of my loved ones. And I think a lot of Capricorns know if you try, especially with children, eventually they rebel, and you can't do it. You can't control it. And it's not really healthy. It's always important and good to guide and help, especially with one's children. But ultimately, we can't control anything outside of ourselves. We can't even really control ourselves. But we can effectively guide ourselves more so than anyone else, more so than anything else in our lives. We can really focus on guiding ourselves. So I think that this is a really great lesson for you as a Capricorn of, okay, how am I going to guide my life wisely by recognizing that I can't control and recognizing the limits of even what I can guide effectively, but also wisely in the sense of recognizing what I can actually change, which is so much, and it's definitely enough for life to continue to be worth living, and for us to be able to make meaningful and positive change in our lives and in the lives of others. You can achieve what you set out to achieve, what you seek to achieve. But again, it all is about time and energy, and making that impossibility into not only a possibility, but an inevitability, virtual inevitability. Again, uncertainty is always there. So, and to always keep that in mind is, I'm just working with time, man. I'm working to the best of my ability with the resources that I've got, and to not stress or have attachment or expectations that are burdens. Just do your best. Just do your best. That's all that matters, is you do your best. You show up and you do it. to the best of your ability. And again, I think especially this is poignant considering the last couple of years where it is important to strive. It's not like I'm saying, oh, let's not have any goals. Of course, no, we need goals, especially as a Capricorn. That's one of the best things about your life's experience. One of the themes that you experience is, okay, set goals and reach them and become all the better for it and all the more mature and wise and all of the status and recognition and the rewards. It's great. Meaningful work, it builds our character and builds us into diamonds. And it really offers diamonds to society as our contribution as individuals. So especially what you've been developing for the last couple of years, continue forward with that. Number 3, open up emotionally with your loved ones, be vulnerable. Again, this has not been easy for anybody. For some people it might be more traumatic than others, but it's still been a trauma for all of us. It's still been a, what the hell is happening? Is this dangerous for me? Is this dangerous for my loved ones, my work colleagues, whoever? Again, it's been really challenging. And I think that even if we're at the end of this tunnel with the light on the other side saying, yes, keep going, you're almost there. Still, if not even more so now, we need to look back and really resolve the past, really resolve what we've experienced to be able to move forward. We need to spend time and energy on the baggage to make sure that we get rid of it consciously and unconsciously. And part of that is opening up emotionally, allowing our loved ones to know how we've struggled, what we've been afraid of. Really, again, we don't want to get caught in the challenges. We don't want to focus on the negativity so that it keeps continuing. The point is to validate that negativity, validate those experiences with that negativity, those challenges, so that we're able to lessen its hold on us and to put it in perspective so that we can use it and the lessons from it and to sublimate it into positivity and to use it as a motivation to sublimate it even better into the future for ourselves. And also, it's so important for our loved ones. That's one of the most important things for Capricorns, is to be vulnerable with your loved ones. It's so important for your sake and for their sake. It's so important. I can't say it enough, to show that you have concerns too, and it seems like you're unstoppable, but you also have these fears and these difficulties in life. And that allows you to connect with your loved ones and really help them to see another side to you and to relate to you and to understand you. And it also gives them the opportunity to also air out whatever has been challenging for them. And that's really important. It's important to give time and energy to the realm of emotions, because it's a huge part of life. I mean, for so many reasons, but it's a huge part of life. And if you're not connecting emotionally with your loved ones, you're missing out on so many ways to give and receive love and support and help in ways that really change lives and really make those relationships even better and more meaningful. And lastly, number 4, what can I build and develop to help the world move forward, as well as bring out the best in myself? Again, it's really great to identify a need for the world, but if it's not bringing out the best in yourself to fulfill that need, that's not the need that you need to take care of and attend to. It's time to shift towards the need that you'd feel drawn to and is naturally inspiring for you. And you find yourself putting things into action, getting stuff done before you even realize it. That's the need to focus on. And I think that, again, you've been through a couple of years that have been incredibly difficult. And I've also been incredibly formative, like we were saying. And there's so much you can do now. There's so many opportunities. And of course, the world too, as we move forward through this tunnel, at the end of this tunnel, so many other opportunities are going to open up as per possibility. So this is a great time to look forward into the future, to ask yourself, okay, what should I be planning now so I can execute later and manifest that is going to help the world to move forward? And again, is going to help me as a person as well. And even if it's not explicitly directly helping the world to move forward, it still is going to be doing so in some great capacity, as long as it's helping you to move forward as an individual and it's bringing out the best in yourself. So whether it's a shift in career, whether it's something that you do on the side, whatever it might be, a nonprofit, whatever it might be, it's really important to ask yourself, okay, how can I help this world develop further? And how can I use, again, the negativity that we've experienced as a positive motivation to move forward? And what can we build to fulfill those really important needs? If you have any tips, please feel free to share them. I'm always really grateful and really humbled to see awesome conversations in the comment section, especially for this series where people are helping each other to get through these challenges, providing insight, or just venting about their difficulties, whatever it might be. Please use this forum. That's what it's for. And I greatly invite you to share your experiences and ideas and insights there. And, I'm really excited. I'm finishing a book series that I've been working on for the last year and a half called Astrological Natal Chart Placements. It's a 3-volume series. I'm finishing the first volume, which is about 160,000 words by the end of May or so, somewhere around there. And that's going to be about the rising, the sun, and the moon energy. So sun in Capricorn, if you're born on the cusp of Aquarius, okay, so there you go. There's that too. Or the cusp of Sagittarius, there's that. But there's also the house, no matter, even if you aren't born on the cusp, you have the sun house placement, you have the rising energy, you have the moon energy, and you have the moon house placement. And that's 5 energies, 5 sections that are at least 4,000 words each. For the sun energies, it's 5,000 words each at least. And it's really thoughtful. I'm not copying, pasting anything. I'm not just blah, 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 blah. It's really in-depth stuff from the last 10 years of being a professional astrologer. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to help a lot of people. And it's also really good to learn more about, of course, others as well. So it's a great way to learn more about your partner or friends, family, child, parents, whoever. I really recommend getting that. And I'm going to be finishing the second volume of that, which is going to be Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter by the end of summer. And then I have, of course, the third volume that's going to be early next year. And then I have 2 other volumes, not so much volumes, but 2 other astrology books that I'm working on. One that is going to be either the end of this year or the beginning of next year, which is going to be focused on the spiritual, the psychological, the philosophical things that I've learned from studying astrology over the last 10 years. And really excited. So I really recommend checking that out. The way to buy those when they're available is the About section of this video. And also, if you'd like to get a personal reading with me, the information to do so is also in the About section of this video. It's been a heavy couple years. I empathize greatly. I mean, also I experienced it, but I've seen it with my Capricorn loved ones. It's been tremendously challenging. But again, it's been also incredibly, whenever pressure is involved, it can build diamonds. And it's good to have a make or break type experiences like that, because it helps to break those habits that we don't need and to really make the habits that we do need to be able to move forward. Infinite love to you, my friend. Enjoy building, enjoy developing. The world needs you to do so, as well as the results from those efforts. Namaste. Peace.